Good morning, all of you. Today in this session, let us discuss what are the different development phases of a startup. So, basically, the business life cycle and particularly the process of startup development might be divided into the phases of formation, validation, and growth. At the first stage of formation of your business, the startup will go from mission to vision. So, this vision and mission comes under formation. Okay, so at the first stage of formation of your business, the startup will go from mission to vision and to strategy. It is crucial to identify your startup idea and do market research by answer such questions at what to who and why and how. The next stage, validation. The validation here, it is the next stage, means you will be following from visionary idea to product creation with the market fit. At this point, launching minimum viable product. So in this validation, launching minimum viable product MVP and validation or iteration is crucial to frame the startup and improve its product. The stage of growth suggests that a startup will transform into the business model that has already been established. Your business will continue to grow with your team support. So right now let's discuss each stage with the focus. Okay. First one is define ideas and do market research. So product development strategy is a crucial step to determine the core principles of every successful startup. So developing an idea, that is the first one, developing ideation. Developing an idea for a startup should consist of several steps in order to be transformed into a winning final result. So first one is, in this ideation you are going to have brainstorm. This is the best way to come up with the right concept for your future startup business. Just let yourself go and write down every single idea related to your skills and interests. And then next one, evaluate. Evaluate. After you have a collection of wide range of ideas, analyzing will be the next step. Think of its strengths and weaknesses. Pay attention whether you are passionate about this idea or will you be developing this idea for the future decade or whether this idea is unique at the perception of the people. Not only getting the ideas but also you have to analyze that ideas whether they are going to work out practically and how long that customers can receive that properly. And then research. When you are sure about the concept of Startup India, it is time to do proper research. Due to this, you will find out about industry trends and size, target segments and competitors on the market, including pricing and product marketing. So then you have to do the research. After analyzing, then after analyzing and evaluating the idea, then you have to do the research regarding uh, new startup, whether it is how far it is going to meet in the present scenario. And then kill. The final stage will be killing your idea. Take in mind that you are your own worst critic. Therefore, try to examine not only the good side of your product but also bad ones. Think about why this product might fail in the future. This should not discourage you, but rather ask you to apply critical thinking in order to improve your startup product. When you will be sure about the idea of your startup development, it's time to do market research. Should know the particular Particulars of the market segment, target audience, and their needs, your potential competitors. You should choose the sphere that is familiar to you. Analyze your business competitors and come up with better features of the product. Innovate the old idea and create a modern product. There are so many opportunities to become there are so many opportunities to become the leader in your business area. And taking in mind that most startups fail because of the lack of proper research and planning. That is why you should not underestimate the stages of the idea development and marketing research. You should set a realistic goal for your online startup development and follow it step by step. Be patient and be sure about your decision. But at the same time, do not neglect the basic elements that will help you to build a reliable online business. And then minimum viable product, that is MVP. Some startup owners tend to skip the stage of MVP, it is thinking of it as unnecessary testing of your product before the final launch. In fact, it is one of the most crucial steps in the startup development chain. Launching MVP allows to learn about customer behavior and collect feedback regarding your product. So based upon this information, you will be able to improve your product by adding or eliminating certain features. MVP helps you produce the final version of the top-notch product. Take in mind that it is essential to launch an MVP as soon as possible and only with the main features of the product. In that case, you will have the chance to get early users' opinions and modify your product according to them. At this stage, the technological approach is very crucial so that at further stages of architecture or scaling, there will be no need to waste time on refactoring and starting the process from scratch. Therefore, before launching an MVP, contact a freelancer or a team of developers. Experienced developer will help you to choose the right tech stack for your startup and will advise you on the product development strategy. And then validating and testing. So after MVP, then you have to do the validation and testing. This stage is focusing on the interacting and testing of your this validation and testing. So here this stage is focusing on the interacting and testing of your product for the validated solutions and decision making process. Potentially, the user and revenue growth will be achieved. This stage suggests the creation of the product with the market fit. That is why KPIs, initial key performance indicators, is identified and further followed. Needless to say that the core of every successful startup business is the modern and progressive technologies that allow achieving high-level usability. It is essential to build adaptive and scalable software architecture so your web or mobile app will be able to grow along with your business. And the next step is support and monitoring. The phase of startup growth suggests your startup as an established business model with a tendency to further evolution. However, your support and monitoring of market indicators are essential to guarantee the sustainable development in the future. To maintain what you have built so far, you need to consult with tech developers to improve or add some new features and tools in your product in accordance with the market development. In addition, you may ask for SEO consultancy to increase your digital presence. What you have to do at this phase is to come up with an effective marketing strategy for your startup. And the next one is conclusion. The stages of Business growth should not be neglected if you want to build a reliable and most profitable business. Therefore, your new business should follow the pattern of problem or solution fit to vision to product or market fit. Problem solution fit to product market fit, and finally to the established business model. Each stage plays a crucial role in the chain of the startup development process. At the first stage of the formation of a startup, you will go from mission to vision and strategy. The second stage of validation suggests paying attention to the launching of the MVP, that is minimum viable product, and further validation and iteration. The final stage of growth means that monitoring and supporting your startup will be a continuous process even after it will become a proper business model. To know the main stages of a startup development will help you to frame the potential strategies of development and possible challenges you may face during the process of development. In case you have left any, sorry, in case here last, yeah, this conclusion here, the pre-startup. So this vision is nothing but also known as pre-startup, and then minimum viable product and product market fit stands for startupping, and then last scaling denotes the growth. And then see here the 6 stages of a startup here. First one is concept and research. It seems everybody has what they consider $1 million idea, but making an idea into reality is very rare. Second stage is commitment. You have to choose one of the idea, and you have to analyze which area has to be applicable. Then come traction. You have to follow up that marketing survey, and then refinement, scaling, and becoming established. Then our next topic is what are the uh, what are the state level and what sources of information. It is state level source of information. So let me tell what are the different source of information at state level. First one is Directorate of Industries. Then District Industries Center, AP Industrial Development Corporation. So before going to formation of this Telangana, you are going to have the Andhra Pradesh Industrial Development Corporation, and next Andhra Pradesh State Small Industries Development Corporation, and then AP Industrial Infrastructure Corporation. And next national level source of information. At national level, you are going to have the Small Industries Development Organization, that is SIDO. Next one is National Small Industries Corporation Limited, NSIC. National Institute of Small Industries Extension and Training. Next one is National Institute for Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development. The next one is Central Foodway Training Institute, Small Industry Service Institute, Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India, Institute for Design of Electrical Measuring Instruments. So these are the national level source of information, whereas these are state level source of information. Once all of you go to this slide. And then national level. Next, national level. Once you go through this slide. And next one is central government institutions. What are the central government institutions? This SEDO comes under central government only. Small Industries Development Organization. Then MDA stands for Management Development Institute. And third one is Entrepreneurship Development Institute of India. All India Small Scale Industries Board. And next one is National Institute of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, New Delhi. Sixth one is National Institute of Small Industries Extension Training. Then National Small Industries Corporation Limited. We'll go through this slide. All of you take these names. Also go through the slide. On the national level and next one is central government institutions. Next, coming in the syllabus, you are going to have only, you are going to know the features and objectives only few organizations. Regarding this, you have to know the names. That's it. Just you have to guess the names. No need to learn the objectives of all the things. Only few you are going to have in your syllabus. Let me discuss. Let me tell what are that. First one is NSIC. It stands for National Small Industries Corporation. These were set up by Government of India in 1955. The main functions are supply of machinery and equipment, provision of financial assistance, assistance for arrangement of raw material, establishment of technology transfer centers, arrangement of marketing assistance, priority in government purchase program. So the main functions are, see, it will make the supply of machinery and equipment to the small scale industry. So it also make the provision if there is any capital required, that is also given by this. Financial assistance can be provided, and also not only financial assistance, also provide the assistance regarding raw materials. Also establishes the technology transfer centers. If suppose if the industry need any technology regarding the manufacturing of product, then it allows ensures the technology transfer centers which are going to train the people who are going to working in the industry. And also arrangement of marketing assistance. It also gives the priority in the government purchase program. Next one is SIDO. Small scale. Once you go through this before going to next one. Supply of machinery and equipment, provision of financial assistance, and this NSIC helps the small scale enterprise for exhibiting products of SSI in the domestic and international exhibitions. So here, other than this, here this NSIC corporation was established by our government of India with a view to promote, aid, and foster the growth of small industries in the country. NSIC assists the small scale sector throughout the country with its various programs and projects. It directly operating different programs by professionals through 8 regional offices, 5 technical service centers, 2 foreign offices, 2 software technology parks, 17 branch offices located in almost all the states, and 3 technical service extension centers. So this NSIC provides the services like machinery and equipment purchase and lease, financial assistance for procurement of raw materials, marketing assistance, government goods purchase, technology transfer centers, and also export programs. These are the various functions provided by this NSIC. The next one is SIDO, that is Small Industries Development Organization. So before going to this functions, let me tell when it was, what is the, who has been established this. The Office of the Development Commissioner of SSI is commonly known as Small Industries Development Organization. This nodal organization working under the Ministry of SSI and ARI. SSI means small scale industry and ARI means agro and rural industries. Government of India helps in laying down the policies of the central government and plays a constructive role in strengthening the SSI sector. It has number of organizations working under its supervision like SISI, branch level institutions, extension centers, school rooms, entrepreneurial development institutions, etc. The major supporting services provided by SIDO are entrepreneurship development and management training, skill development, preparation of product profiles, marketing support, and plant modernization studies, etc. SIDO also encourages the entrepreneurs by giving 3 national awards every year to outstanding SSI entrepreneurs in the country. So let me tell what are the functions of SIDO. To assist and encourage entrepreneurs to set up industrial units in rural and industrially backward areas and industrially backward areas. To estimate the requirements of raw materials of SSI units and to arrange their supplies. Other than this, SIDO conducts the following types of management courses. What are that? Let me tell. First one is training in technical grades. Next one is training in management disciplines. And next one is training of SIDO officers. SIDO keeps its officers abreast of the latest developments in their respective fields of specialization. Global trends and national developments have accentuated SIDO's role as the catalyst of growth of small enterprises in the country. So let me tell what are the objectives of SIDO. So advertising. First one is advertising the government on formulation of policies and programs for small scale industries. Facilitating linkage of small scale industries and ancillaries to large and medium scale industries. Developing human resource base through training and skill upgradation. So the main objectives are formulation of policies as well as the progress for small scale industries, and it facilitates the linkage of SSIs to large as well as medium scale industries. It will act as the linkage, facilitate the linkage between the SSIs, medium scale industries as well as large scale industries. Also, it develops the human resource based training as well as it enhances the human resource skills by giving proper training and also skill upgradation programs. Next, our topic before going to next, once we go through this slide, SIDO, functions of SIDO. Then our topic is SI. Then coming to our new topic, next one is small objectives or small scale for small industries. SISI stands for Small Industries Service Institute. SISI works under the supervision of SIDO with its network of 26 institutes perform the following functions. Yes, before going to this, let me tell what are the objectives of SISI. Initiating steps for technological upgradation and modernization of existing units. And then next point is expanding the channels for marketing the products of the small scale sector. Promotion of employment-oriented industries. First, first objective of this SISI is technological upgradation, means improvising the technological aspect and also modernization of the already existing units. Expanding the channels regarding market. It will expand the channels for marketing the products of the small scale sector and also promote the employment-oriented industries. Next, coming to the functions, it serves as it serves as an interface between central and state governments. Then next one is it rendering the technical support services. And next one is conducting EDP, means electronic development, sorry, entrepreneurship development programs. And next one is initiating promotional programs. It maintains an effective linkage is maintained with DICs, District Industry Corporation, for providing the techno-economic and managerial consultancy. Other than this, it also provides the export promotion and license activities. So these are the functions of SISI. So go through the slide, SISI objectives and the functions. Next, coming to the next one, functions of Small Scale Industries Board, SSIB. This SSIB was set up in 1954 to advise on development of SSI in the country. The SSIB is also known as Central Small Industries Board. The Industries Minister of Government of India is the chairman of SSIB. The SSIB comprises 50 members, including state industry minister, some members of the parliament, secretaries of the various departments of Government of India, financial institutions, public sector undertakings, industry associations, and eminent experts in the field. Coming to the functions, it is an apex advisory body constituted to render advice to the government on all issues pertaining to the development of small scale industry. So mainly here, this was established by by the country in 1954 mainly to advise the development of SSI. Main not regarding any advices, this board is going to helpful for small scale industry. So it is an apex advisory body constituted to render the advice to the government on all issues pertaining to the development of small scale industries. And next, to go through this slide before going to the next one. So in this syllabus, you are going to have only these SSIB, and next one is SI. SI stands for Small Industries Service Institute. Okay, once again I will repeat this. Let let me tell what are the National Small Industries Corporation. It was set up by our Government of India in 1955. The main functions are supply of machinery and equipment, provision of supply of machinery and equipment, provisional, there is a provision of financial assistance for arrangement of raw material, uh, assistance for arrangement of the raw materials, establishment of technology transfer centers, arrangement of marketing assistance, priority in government purchase program. Then coming to the next one, SIDO. So before going, let me tell the objectives. Advising the government on formulation of policies and programs for small scale industries, facilitating the linkage of small scale industries and ancillaries to large and small, to large and medium scale industries, developing human resource base through training and skill upgradation. And then coming to the functions, to assist and encourage entrepreneurs to set up an industrial units in rural and industrially backward areas and industrially backward areas, to estimate the requirements of raw materials of SSI units and to arrange their supplies. Other than this, SIDO conducts the following types of management courses. They are training in technical grades, training in management disciplines, training of SIDO officers. SIDO keeps its officers abreast of the latest developments in their respective fields of specialization. Global trends and national developments have accentuated SIDO's role as a catalyst of growth of small enterprises in the country. Next one is Small Industries Service Institute. Objectives of this SISI are initiating steps for technological upgradation and modernization of existing units, expanding the channels for marketing the products of the small scale sector, promotion of employment oriented industries. Then coming to the functions. It acts as the link between central and state governments. It render the technical support services. They'll conduct the EDPs. EDPs are nothing but entrepreneurship development programs. Initiating promotional programs. It maintains An effective linkage is maintained with DICs. DICs are nothing but District Industries Center for providing the techno-economic and managerial consultants. Let me tell what is DIC. These DICs are nothing but District Industries Center. These are established to promote SSI and cottage industries beyond big cities and to generate employment opportunities among rural and backward areas. They extend some of the services like economic investigation of local resources, supply of machinery and equipments, provision of raw materials, arrangement of credit facilities, marketing, quality inputs, consultancy and extension services. Then SSIB, Small Scale Industries Board. The SSIB was set up in 1954 to advise on development of SSI in the country. The SSIB is also known as Central Small Industries Board. The Industries Minister of Government of India is the chairman of SSIB. Industries Minister of Government of India. He is the chairperson of this organization. SSIB comprises 50 members including state industry minister, some members of the parliament, then secretaries of the various departments of Government of India, financial institutions, and then public sector undertaking. Next one is industry associations and eminent experts in the field. So all these members comprises this SSIB. Then coming to the functions, it is an apex advisory body constituted to render advice to the government on all issues pertaining to the development of SSI. Next section, we are going to see the Telangana State Industry Policy. So, other than this, we are also having some more industries, some more organizations regarding development of SSIs. They are SSIDC. SSIDC stands for Small Industrial Development Corporations. So the functions of SSIDC are to procure and distribute the scarce raw materials. Scarce raw materials means which are not found abundant, which are very rare. These are very few. So mainly to procure and distribute the scarce raw materials. Second thing is supply of machinery to SSI units on higher purchase basis. Next one is product marketing assistance. And also it ensures the construction of industrial estates, allied infrastructure facilities and their maintenance. It also provides the management assistance to production units. Okay, let me tell what are the objectives and functions. Term loans for acquisition of land, building, plant and machinery, promotion of self-employment, encourage new and technical qualified women, rehabilitation of sick units, promotion of industry by rural and urban artisans. Then district industry centers. These DICs give full assistance to the entrepreneurs who are going to start the business on their own and in their regional places. DICs provide various schemes for promoting the growth of rural and cottage industries and also different, not only cottage industries, they also assist regarding these DICs also assist micro, small and macro industrial enterprises. Let me tell what are the objectives of district industry center. They'll accelerate the overall efforts for industrialization of the district, rural industrialization and development of rural industries and handicrafts, attainment of economic equality in various regions of the district, providing the benefit of the government schemes to the new entrepreneurs, centralization of procedures required to start a new industrial unit, and minimization of the efforts and time required to obtain various permissions, license, registrations, subsidies, etc. These are the objects. Next one is functions of DICs, District Industry Center. It acts as the focal point of the industrialization of the district, prepares the industrial profile of the district with respect to statistics and information about existing industrial units in the district in the large, medium, small as well as cooperative sectors. Opportunity guidance to entrepreneurs, compilation of information about local sources of raw material and their availability, manpower assessment with respect to skilled, semi-skilled workers, assessment of availability of infrastructure facilities like quality testing, research and development, and then transport, prototype development, warehouse, etc. Organizes entrepreneurship development training programs, provides information about various government schemes, subsidies, grants, and assistance available from the other corporations set up for promotion of industries, gives SSI registration, prepares techno-economic feasibility reports, advises the entrepreneurs on investments, acts as the link between the entrepreneurs and the lead bank of the district. Once you go through this slide. And then DICs. This also will go. So district industries centers also extend the following services. Economic investigation of local resources, supply of machinery and equipment, provision of raw materials, arrangement for credit facilities, marketing, quality inputs, consultancy and extension services. So, see here, these are nothing but a central level. You are going to have the different organizations which are at central level, state level, as well as others. So under central level, you are going to have SSI board, AVIC, CIDO, NSIC, NSTBD, NPC, NISIT, NIESBUD, EDI, DIs, DICs. At the state level, you are going to have district industry centers, SFCs, SIDCs, SIDCs. At others, under other, you are going to have industry association, non-governmental organization, R&D, laboratories. So in the next session, I am going to discuss regarding Telangana state industrial policy. Under this, you are going to have many things, thrust areas, PSI pass, classification of product assistance to women and entrepreneurs, support for SC entrepreneurs, like that. Many things you can learn in the next session, that is in Telangana industrial policy. So with this, I'm going to stop my session. Thank you, one and all.